eventually your business will run out of money because the expenses just keep going and you're not making enough money to cover those expenses. And when the month ends, I'm realizing, I know I made money, but where did the money go? What's up, kitty bats, and welcome back to another video. This is another one in the fashion business series, and this particular one I'm going to be sharing 5 essential tips to help you manage your expenses better if you have a fashion business so you are more profitable. This was a request I got from the last video I did in the fashion business series, which you guys like me to every now and again. So if you'd like to find out what these tips are, make sure to keep on watching. If you know any more outside of these 5 I'm going to be sharing, do leave a comment down below so we all learn collectively and grow our businesses together in the future. With that out of the way, let's jump straight into the video. If you have a product-based business, especially physical products, it is worth considering creating an inventory of all of your products if you don't have one already, because from doing this you'll be able to see at a glance how many products you have and how much you have tied in those products. If you have an idea of how much that is, you are able to make a better decision going into the future if you want to create more products or focus on selling the ones that you already have. You can organize this in an Excel sheet. I love using Excel sheets for things like this. It doesn't even have to be super over the top. You just create different columns for maybe all of your tops, all of your dresses, how much it costs to produce them and what your retail price is, and then do a sum of each product. So once you add everything up together, you know how much inventory you have in terms of quantity and how much money all those inventory actually cost. So if you haven't done this already, it's actually worth doing it. A lot of websites you're able to actually see it on your back end, but it might not match what you have physically in your space or in your warehouse. So create an inventory and see at a glance if you are overstocking, understocking, and how much you have of your capital tied in physical products. Now, this next one, I think everybody and anybody going into business should really consider doing is to separate your business and your personal finances. At the beginning, I kind of just put everything inside one pot, so it was difficult to tell if this £50 I spent was on fabric or if it was on something that was for myself. But if you have all of your business expenses and all of your business income in one account, you can clearly see how much your business has. If you put it together with your personal expenses, it is really hard to organize your books. It is also hard to do bookkeeping and accounting if you have your personal expenses mixed up with your business expenses. I'm self-employed at the moment, which means that when I do my self-assessment or tax return at the end of every year, my business and I are the same entity, but still I have a separate account for my business and I have a separate account for my spending money. So what I do is at the end of a month, I go in and I withdraw a certain amount that's considered, I consider it my salary, even though when you're self-employed, you technically are not paying yourself a salary, you're just taking money out of the business. But in my mind, that is my salary, and from that money, that is where I'll be buying my lip gloss, be buying my perfume, be buying my clothes and my shoes and my bags, my hair, all those things are for me outside of Kim Dave, the business. Once you do that separation, I find that for me it just helps me mentally know what I'm doing with my money. I know I'm not tricking my hand inside my business money. Rather, if this money is for the business and I've taken out my own salary, I know the money left there is to invest in products, is to invest in ideas, is to use to make more money for the business. Tip number 3 is to monitor your cash flow. And what cash flow means in layman's term is money coming in and money going out of your business. You want to be able to make enough money to cover all of your expenses and have money extra that you can invest into the business to make more money. So if you're not making enough money to cover all your subscriptions, your staff, your rent, your everything, eventually your business will run out of money because the expenses just keep going and you're not making enough money to cover those expenses. So take time and just go through your transactions. You can do it for like a span of 90 days or of a month. Add up all your expenses and add up all your income. You want to have your income more than your expenses because that way you are cash flow positive. You have more cash operating or more cash coming to your business compared to more cash leaving, which is when you're cash flow negative. So if you haven't done that already, do that, because if you've realized that you have more expenses than money coming in. You now have to think, okay, do I want to cut down my expenses? Do I want to cancel some subscriptions? Do I want to let go of some staff? Do I want to create more products that will make more money for the business? If you don't do that cash flow calculation, it is really hard to just know off the top of your head, have I made enough money this month? Did I do it plenty of shopping? Have I spent a lot more money? Take time out and actually do your cash flow, and then from there you'll be able to see if you need to cut down your expenses, you need to cut down your costs, or you actually cash flow positive and you can take that additional revenue that you've earned and invest that back into your business for something that could possibly make you more money. Number four is to create a detailed budget. This is going to really help you if you're someone who is a spontaneous spender or someone who doesn't really plan out how you spend the money that your business makes. At the beginning of a month, at the beginning of a quarter, especially, I'll highly recommend doing this at the beginning of a quarter, which is over the span of a few months. Budget out how much money you want to spend for your salary, in my case, how much you want to spend getting fabrics, how much you want to spend on subscriptions, how much you want to spend on staff, how much you want to spend on all these different things, and try and stick to that budget. What that will do for you mentally, and what it does for me mentally, is if in a month I know I've spent a particular amount of money on going fabric shopping, the next time I walk into the fabric shop, I know I have used my budget for fabric shopping, and I know I'll respect myself and leave the fabric shop without buying extra fabrics. Whereas if I don't do that, I find that months I don't have a budget and or an amount guiding me in terms of how much I can spend to buy fabric or whatever, I just end up overspending, eating into the business pockets. And when the month ends, I'm realizing, I know I made money, but where did the money go? You really cannot see because there was no budget guiding you. You can create an Excel sheet for the budget across a month or a quarter, and then have another Excel sheet for your actuals. So how much did you actually spend in a month for the different categories? You could have a category for tools, you could have a category for subscriptions, you could have a categories for travel, you could have a category for maybe when you go out for business events or business trips, business entertaining, like those subcategories. Write the actuals that you spent in there and try and stick to the budget that you have created in that your first Excel sheet. This would help you from overspending on the long run and help you make smarter decisions because you sort of have something guiding you in terms of spending the money that your business has. The final point I would just like to cover is one that you could do if you've been working with a particular supplier or a particular partner company over a period of time. You might want to think about negotiating your terms of production or terms of agreement to see if you can save a little money from that relationship. Say you've been working with this person that has been supplying this particular packaging for, I don't know, 2-3 years, and you've been paying a particular price. It's worth reaching out to them and asking, oh, is it possible for us to, reduce the cost of acquiring this thing to this amount? I have been a loyal or I've been a returning customer. I've brought business back and back to you. I've brought you new customers. There's a way that you can word that email or that message to the person that they'll be like, you know what, this person we've had this relationship for a while. We're going to keep working together. You could even draw up an agreement that you would continue to get that particular material or that particular thing from them if they possibly reduce the cost of getting that item from them. It's worth considering. That way you end up saving a little bit of money when you negotiate with your suppliers, whether it's someone who gives you fabric, someone who does production for you, and you're going to keep working with the person, and the person knows you keep bringing them customers based on maybe referrals or word of mouth, or someone has seen the item that you got from them and reach out. So at the end of the day, it's like a beneficial relationship that that supplier has with you. It's worth negotiating an agreement where you end up paying a little bit less and overall increase your profit margin. So those are all of the tips I have for this video. If you have any further questions in the fashion business series, because that's how I kind of make these videos, I go through the comments, I pick a comment and I make a video, because that way it's actually a topic that you guys want to learn about. It's a topic that if I don't even know, I go do my research and I make a video. So I am learning, you are learning, we're mutually learning from each other. So leave a comment down below for any topics, any questions, any struggles that you have as a fashion business owner, especially if you're a small to medium sized business, because I'm kind of like around that realm as well. So we can exchange our ideas, exchange our experiences, and we grow collectively. If you did enjoy this video, do give it a thumbs up. Until my next one, have a good morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you are. Bye.